And a touchdown for the Hamilton Ticats.
Hey, all, Rick here from Hamilton Sports Central, and we have a preview this week. This time we're on the road against the BC Lions. We're going to take a look at both teams' depth charts as well as the game's news and notes. We're going to start with the Ticats, the away team. We on the boundary side we have Mitchell and Lawler. Left tackle we have Trevor Reed, and left guard Brendan Revenberg. Center is Liam Dobson and Nathaniel Dublin-Duguay. Right guard making his starting debut, Jonathan Dennis. He was our first round draft pick this year. And Swartout at right tackle. Kedrick Wheatfall is the field side wide receiver. In the back row, we have slot back Keandre Smith and Isaiah Whitten Sr. Fullback and tight end Lee Trey with Mang and Bell. Harrison Frost gets the start today with backing up is Trey Ford and Jake Dolagallo. Larry Roundtree III and Johnny Augustine as the running backs. Curly Gittens Jr. and Tyson Middlemost, along with Tyler Turnowski. On the defensive side, we have Julian Hauser and Ajude with Miles Fox and Dabry. Mario Kendricks Jr. at defensive tackle. And then you have Isaiah Bagna and Philip Osai with Owen Hubert. Bagna is only starting for the ratio-wise, so it's only the first start, and then Isaiah and then Philip Osai is going to be in. The linebackers, we have Broxton Hill and Crook, Ryan Baker and Winton McManus, and Reggie Stubblefield as the same linebacker. Secondary, we have Jamal Peters, Destin Talbert, Stavros Kachatonis, Robert Panabaker, and Horrell as the free safeties. Bynum as the halfback, and then Walton as the field corner. Now over on the BC side, left to right, we have Hatcher and Williams, Woodruff as the left tackle, Una and Pearson as left guard, Kuche as center, Schulager as right guard, and Walker Hunt as right tackle. Making his return to the lineup, Javoy Cantoy and Senecal as the wide receivers. Slot back is Jackson. Fullback is Pickett and Bond. Returning to the lineup is Nathan Rourke with Salter and Bryce. Butler's returning to the lineup with Horvath. And then Passant and Justin McInnes. On the defensive side, you have Bell and Molden, Gusta and Cherry, Sales, and you also have DeBelly, Betts and Harris. Linebackers, you have McKenna and Goforth, Sankey, Apollon, and Konar, and then Williams and Comedy. And then secondary, you have Thomas Oliver, Lee, Finley, Renee, and Haggerty, Kent, and Kudon as the corners. Now over to the news and notes. BC's late fury at Winnipeg. The Lions defeated Winnipeg last week in what was a classic last 3-minute struggle. BC led by 1 point at 20-19, but scored with 2:46 to play. A pair of touchdowns in a span of just 37 seconds overall. Overall, the Lions scored 25 points in the fourth quarter. That was their biggest fourth quarter total since August 17th. 0-1 and the sixth highest in club history. Their 3 late touchdowns span came over a span of just 2 minutes and 42 seconds, with a touchdown touchdown with 4:51, 2:46, and 2:09 left to play. Hamilton late versus Calgary. Hamilton endured the opposite last week, where they're right into the game with just 27-20 with less than 8 minutes left, but Calgary produced 17 late points by both offense and defense under 8 minutes to go to produce a 44-20 win. Their late three touchdowns came over a span of just 2 minutes of 42 seconds. Major BC improvement. The defense has turned it around as of late, following the results indicate. Games 1-4, 50 opponent drives, 16 touchdowns, 32% rate. 5-7, 42 opponents drives, 4 touchdowns, 9.5 touchdown rate. Rivalry dating back to 1961 and also 2014. This marks the 107th meeting between the BC Lions and the Hamilton Ticats in regular season since the start of the interdivision in 1961. The Lions need to win to level the 2-game series for the first straight win. The Ticats took the first meeting of 2026 with a 41-27 dominant win behind Bo Levi Mitchell. The Ticats led at 1 point by 29 points and were perfect in 2 key areas, 0 sacks allowed and turnovers that day. Xander Horvath, in his 2 starts, has posted rushing yards totals of 152 on 12 carries in 2025. Then again last week with 191 and 17 carries of note. As indicated above, the fourth quarter has been predominant for Horvath. Nathan Rourke appears to be returning to the lineup after missing 2 starts and all but 2 different offensive plays over the last 3 games, though he is just 1-4 in his 5 starts this season and 2-3 versus Hamilton all-time. Rourke is 24-17 overall in 41 starts. This start moves him up to 2nd all-time Canadian quarterback behind Frank Cosentino. All-time had 41, but course trailing Hall of Famer Russ Jackson at 137. Matthew Betstreet comes in this game with a sack leader as to week number 9. He has a sack in each of his last 3 games. His career high is 6. Set back to 2023. He had a 4-game run last season. Harrison Frost. With his whole career off the bench appearance last week, Frost may get the start this week for Hamilton. He stepped in for Trey Ford and led the last 11 Ticat drives versus Calgary. His numbers 9 for 20, 165 yards and a touchdown, and an interception thrown. An element of his last game, permanent deep throws. Among his 20 attempts, 7 were 20-plus yards, category for 3 for 7 downfield deep. Frost completed 2 passes with a deep downfield of 40-plus yards, and that 3 of 7 total. Meyer, great distance of late. The Lions punter Carl Meyer slowly averaging 47 yards per punt in the first 3 games over the last 4 contests. His verge has grown to north of 50-plus yards of 51.2 yards and a net of 41.3. Hamilton at 3-5. Despite losing their quarterback, Bo Levi Mitchell, the Ticats are right in the playoff hunt. At 3-5 on wins with Toronto, who has had 1 game in hand. Field position challenge. The Lions have all season long fought poorly for field position. They have ranked number 9 with an average drive starting point at the 34-yard line, but has picked it up as of late. Games 1-4, 30-yard line, 32-yard line, 5-7, 36-yard line. That's a major difference. Mark Legio in his last 5 games has hit 10 of 11. field goal attempts for 90.9% mark. He ranks number 4 in CFL history with 87.4. Sean White. In 2026, he made 17 of 19 attempts for 90.9%. He ranks 2 in CFL history behind Jose Maltos at 88.9%, but has 514 more attempts, 574 for 646. In 2026, White's longest field goal is 43. His 2 misses were 43 and 52. Slow starts fourth quarter. The Lions have been held scoreless in the first quarter over the last 2 games, and 4 times overall in the 2026. They're minus 27 in overall quarter 1 scoring, 23 and 50. But in the fourth quarter has yelled just 9 points in the last 4 games. Larry Roundtree has some consistent numbers to lead the Ticats run game. His carry totals are 13, 13, and 12 as of late. No fewer than 8 in any game this season, and at 449 yards in 8 games, he is on pace for 1,010 yards. Justin McInnes is looking to bounce back this week after he was held without a catch by Winnipeg and was targeted just once. Part of BC's dependence on the late rushing game gave them 206 yards via run in the final 15 minutes. Lawler's touchdowns in 5 of his last 6 games. Kenny Lawler is a receiving touchdown in 5 of his last games, or 5 in his last 6 games. Both the close coverage, just 8 catches in Hamilton's most recent 3-game stretch. BC discipline. BC have to cut down on their penalty flags of late, just 12 in their last 3 games combined. They drew 28 penalties in their first 4. So that is a game preview for today's 7 p.m. kickoff. We'll have the Edmonton-Montreal game on the channel first, and then the Hamilton-BC game at 7 p.m. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by. This is Rick from Hamilton Sports Central, and have yourself a great rest of your day.